we off? Right. My name's Steve Traps. I'm a Scrum Master, .NET architect. I'm here to talk to you about my part in working one of the most awesome Agile teams and then why it failed. It's nearly Christmas. So I'm going to tell you a story. So we're going to start the story at pressing the green one. We're going to the movies. So here's the intro. I was asked to build an API for a mobile app, and this mobile app was going to allow people to vote on their favourite footballers across the world, and we were going to have a one-off match between the best of the rest of the world versus the best of Europe, which we started doing. 4 months into that project, the CEO said, no, we're not doing that anymore. And because we were agile, we could adapt, and we started changing. And he asked us to build a social network. Yes, I know you're laughing. You were involved. And this social network had to cope between 50 million and 150 million users. But that was all right. We're agile and we can adapt and we can take it in our stride. So behind it, we had a CTO who was an agile advocate. He had developed things using agile methodologies. He understood MVP. He used iterative development, really bought into the process. It was a greenfield development. Greenfield team that we had to get into place as well, so there was no legacy there was no previous things we had to deal with, and also, yeah, sorry, I forgot to tell you, this was a startup company, but a startup company with lots of backing. We had offices in Los Angeles, Hong Kong, Leeds, and Amsterdam. We had approximately about 40 people dotted around the world, all doing various different things. So, oh, blimey. So it was up to me to recruit this team with some other people as well. So how did we do it? Oh, I've gone too far. Right, so there's the team. This came from people I had previously worked with, people that I'd previously worked with recommending me to talk to people, people that I'd met at Agile Yorkshire telling me to talk to people, people in the street telling me to talk to people, and we use good old-fashioned recruitment agencies as well. Hooray! I hear you all say. When we brought them in from that angle, we gave them a technical test to do. The reason for that was to make sure they could actually do what they were saying they were doing, but also to have a conversation with that person so that we could actually see if they could hold a conversation, tell us a little bit about what they were doing, whether or not they'd fit into the team, whether or not they could do what they were doing. So we ended up with the final team. The final makeup of the team was made up from passionate, enthusiastic, and I can't believe I'm saying this because they are in the room, talented, gifted developers. I know. They were a team of doers. They would roll their sleeves up, get in there and get involved, and across any issue, any problems, they would do it. From people with 15 years experience down to graduates. So we had testers in the team, or developers that like to test, as they like to be called. And that was brilliant having them in the team. One of the things that I saw happen was that it made the developers up their game. We would take code or take user stories to people to be tested, and it'd be thrown back at us as a developer. So we then started making our tests or making our code better so it wouldn't get thrown back as quicker. The testers would spend time with the developers showing us where we could make the test better, showing us how we can make our code better. The developers actually became in awe of these testers. It was really nice to see. I've never seen it before. We had a PO who respected the process. He was from a technical background, and even when he disagreed with the technical implementation, he was quiet about it because he left it up to the team to do it, even though he probably said, I could do it better or we can do it quicker that way. So we had no hierarchy in the team. We left egos at the door. It was no team leaders, no alpha males. We ran vanilla Scrum. We sat close to each other so we could hear what was going on. So if somebody had a problem, we could actually hear it before it actually manifested problems. Oh, we just talked to so-and-so, he'll sort that. We had continuous integration, we had test-driven, we had Jira boards, we had wiki, we had self-documenting wiki from tests. We had coding standards, we had code reviews within the build pipeline. It was really good. We were able to deploy into sprint, into production. So not waiting to the end, we just got it out there to get that feedback as quickly as possible. We were doing full end-to-end testing. We were working with real Microsoft architects, not real Microsoft architects, we were working with Microsoft architects. You'll see why I've said real in a minute. We were going to getting Azure Insights. We were going to host this on Azure. We were getting information from Real Madrid because they were doing something similar to what we were doing, and also Heineken. So we were putting that bit of process back into the actual application. We had great team ethic. They had autonomy, they had responsibility, and that equaled empowerment to do the right thing. So how did we work as a team? We did come on. I'm trying to not do Michael Caine impression, because I can't do it. We had 2 weekly sprints. We had epics and stories. I'm going into Len. Anyway, design would emerge through discussion. We did proof of concepts before going into the next sprint, so we knew what we were doing. The product owner had knowledge and authority to say what needed to be done. Complex stories, if we had any, we'd do a 3 Amigos rule where we'd all sit down, or 3 people would sit down, tester, tech architect, dev, and say, how are we going to solve this? What's going on here? We showcased to our stakeholders. We gave notes out to say how to use the API. This is what you need to do. We had retrospectives. And do you know what? When the team missed its commitment, it really hurt them. And I've very rarely seen that in a dev team where they go, shit, we nearly made it. We nearly made it. If only we'd done it that way. So it was nice to see. We had our problems. As a Scrum Master, I had to solve them in a constructive way. We created some house rules, such as respect each other's opinions, don't talk over each other, respect design decisions. If you break the build, you owe us cake. Joe, I still think you owe me cake at some point. Yes. Anyway, we released the app 5 months after being told we're going to have a social media network. We released it. It was available from June all the way through to August. It was a basic one, but we had done it. It was, you were able to register, you were able to comment, do posts, upload video, votes, add likes to it. It wasn't perfect, but we did iterate through it and it looked good. So what could go wrong? Well, the changes started happening at 2 levels. Oh, I've got 3 minutes left. Right, so there were splits at the board and there was uncertainty at the local level. People would just disappear from the company if they disagreed with the CEO. We lost the CFO, we lost the CTO, so we lost our Agile champions, saying this is the way it should be done. The CEO wanted to micromanage everything as well, so any design decisions or any languages that we were using or any wording we were doing, it had to go through him. But we couldn't get to him, we physically couldn't get to him. And we had silence from the rest of the team, rest of the company. Locally, sing a song. That's better. Sing a song. No. The PO was cut out of decisions and we ended up having 2 proxy POs. I did say proxy. Who were dictating timescales and requirements to us at the same time. It's never a good thing. Changes and requirements were given to us via a PDF, from a branding agency. Any questions we asked, we were seen as unconstructive questions, so we were absolutely knackered. We didn't understand the language that was being asked of us and what to deliver. Then, a new development team appeared. We were told about them. Who would deliver for a key market. Oh God. Deliver for a key market and for us not to worry. It's fine. 2 weeks later, we were worried because some of the team was disbanded. And that was the end of that team. Was it an awesome team? Yes, it was. We worked together. We had a strong team ethos. We were enthusiastic. We were empowered to deliver. And we'd only just got started before we started actually with the first app. The team was evolving. We were looking to resolve issues and we were doing the right thing. However, we lost the trust of the business and it wasn't our fault, but we still lost the trust. We were doing the right thing, but we weren't doing the right thing for the business. If a business doesn't see the value, there is no value in what you're doing. In my experience, I've had to put that in, unless Agile is supported by the very top and is driven from the bottom, it doesn't matter how good you have with the people you get in. Oh shit, I pointed at you then. But you're good as well. Your team will struggle. So the moral of this story, I didn't say it was a happy story, and I've got 36 seconds, I'll be fine. Even though we did everything right, we failed as the rest of the business didn't see the worth in us being agile. And now a joke. Russian dolls, they're a bit up themselves, aren't they? Oh, I forgot a slide!